is increased by 10 degrees on that pipe, it will automatically tell the fan, which is wired up over here on this 5-core cable, to go into boost mode. So it will go from a standard trickle, maybe sort of 50 litres per hour, to 95 litres per hour. So it's kind of double the extraction rate almost, based on that. But it will also turn on the towel rail and start heating your towel up for you immediately. Now that'll do that in the summer or the winter. But some people say to me, okay, but in the winter my heating's going to be on anyway, and I'm like, yes, that's correct, your heating will be on, and especially here in the loft, this is where it's more prominent to have this additional level of control, is that in the winter months, when all the heat is rising up from downstairs, it might be that thermostatically this area is actually at the right temperature, and thus the towel rail will not activate, because the temperature on this level from the heat rising from downstairs will always be quite high. Whereas this does not negate the fact that you might well want your towel to be dried within a reasonable period of time to stop the smell of damp and all that kind of stuff, and also have a nice hot towel when you come out of the shower. And then obviously the boosting feature of the fan is another great thing. We can also override this, so if it's like, you know, maybe we set a parameter in the system that says, well, if it's 2 AM, no matter what the temperature of this pipe does, don't activate the fan onto boost, because, you know, it's kind of too noisy. Just keep it at, you know, a trickle, unless, and here's another parameter that can be put in, the touch pure on the wall says the humidity is staying above a certain level for a period of time, maybe a 50% relative humidity or something like that. And if that happens, then override and boost the fan for 10 minutes or whatever it might be. We can also use it to overrun the fan as well. So when the shower pipe is turned off and we see the system start to cool down a little bit, we tell it, well, look, when you cool back down again, you know, get to say 25 degrees, activate the countdown timer. And the countdown timer will be something like maybe 20 minutes or 30 minutes, where it will keep the fan running and it will keep the towel rail going for another 20-30 minutes after your shower. Or it might be that it turns the fan off after 15 minutes, but it turns the towel rail off after 1 hour. Because obviously you get out your shower, warm towel, you make the towel wet, you put the towel back, it's not going to dry in 15 minutes. So we're going to want this towel rail to overrun for probably an hour. There is no electric towel rail elements in this house. We've completely gone away from that, and we are using just a wet system. And the reason is that we get a lot of problems with the towel rail elements. From a maintenance perspective, they're very complicated, and when they fail, you have to do a lot of work to replace them. And to be honest with you, you still want to actuate the boiler. You still want the boiler to work. You still want the underfloor heating pumps to come on. You still want the pumps and the actuators that control the towel rails to, you know, kind of go through the motions. Otherwise, they might seize up during the summer months, and when you turn your heating back on in the winter, half of it won't work, or maybe a couple of radiators won't work. So it kind of avoids that as well. So it's got lots of benefits. Yeah, I mean, the other thing as well is that the showers are going to have little diamond lights in them, and depending on what the outside light temperature says, whether it says it's daylight or if it's nighttime, again, it will either come on as a nighttime setting, it can come on from the Touch Pure, these little diamond lights, or we can also say when the shower temperature reaches 30 degrees, turn them on. So the moment you get in your shower and you open your valve up, you'll see suddenly after a few minutes the lights come on, but only if it's dark outside. So, you know, a tiny little temperature sensor actually makes a lot of sense. It saves a lot of energy. You know, I mean, I've seen a lot of bathrooms where I go in and the fan's just on because people have got 2 switches outside the room, one for the lights, one for the fan, and they've kind of left the fan running and it's been on all day, you know, for no reason at all. Whereas we could be just reading data such as humidity or the temperature of this pipe here to be able to tell us whether that fan should be on or off or not. So from a maintenance perspective, that fan's going to last a lot longer. Yeah, just, you know, just small efficiencies, really. All the lights are dimmable. All the spotlights throughout the whole house are completely dimmable. We find it's a nice luxury at night time that you can set better scenes by having some lights on at a low level and then some lights on at quite a bright level. We can add colour to it, you know, such as the RGB strip that will go around the light well up there.